They say don't judge a book by its cover, but actually, a book cover is a really useful way of finding out what's inside a book. You know, from the title and the writing on the back, and sometimes there's a picture, so... Along similar lines, in Castlevania 64, when you encounter a strange pale boy with purple hair and purple eyes, dressed in aristocratic finery and hanging out in the hedge maze of Castle Dracula, maybe you ought to do a little vibe check. Or should that be a vamp check? Sure, this small child says he was kidnapped from a nearby village, but he also says his name is Malus, which is the Latin word for evil and also the Latin word for apple. And he don't look like no apple to me. No time to think about that, because then you're helping Malus flee angry dogs through the leafy labyrinths.
Ah! Help me!
Escorting him to the exit of the maze and seemingly to safety, away from Dracula's accursed castle. Whew, chalk up one child rescue to vampire killer Reinhard Schneider. Except later, having fought your way into and through the castle, you find Malus just hanging out when he ought to have escaped, stood amongst shelves of jars filled with suspiciously red liquid and having a sinister little giggle. This is fine and normal child behaviour, you think to yourself. Tweens these days, they're always saying stuff like, all living creatures must consecrate their souls to the Dark Lord. It's probably a TikTok thing. Malus flees again, and again, expert vampire hunter Reinhardt of the legendary vampire hunting Belmont clan is oblivious, baffled even. In the finale of the game, you can therefore consider Reinhardt totally unspoiled, re the shocking plot twist where he, primed for a confrontation with Dracula himself, is again met with Malus, who is this time atop an evil flying horse with bat wings, saying stuff like, "Enough, now you meet the Dark Lord himself." By George, I think he's got it. Yes, Malus is incredibly not merely a creepy waif, but actually the reincarnation of Dracula, who had apparently been holding on for the perfect moment to transform into his true, more shirtless form. There ensues the climactic battle between Vampire Killer and Vampire Lord, wherein Dracula transforms again into his even truer, equally shirtless form of a fire-breathing centipede dragon, which Reinhardt must slay to save the day and prevent anyone from learning the embarrassing truth that he hadn't clocked Malus much earlier. Which, yeah, he'd never live that down. It would be almost as embarrassing as the bad ending of the game, in which you take too long to reach the finale, never defeat Dracula, never discover Malus's secrets, and in fact, you take the boy home with you, still none the wiser as Malus's eyes flash an evil red, and then game over. So when do you think he will realise? Like when the fangs go in, or never?